Welcoming to the show. I'm your host, Cam, and we're here with another exclusive interview. We got Erin Lillie Smith, actress, singer, voice artist, and filmmaker. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Anytime. Erin has done it all, from various cult pictures to also being the former Radio Disney in Alabama voice persona. So.
Yes, sir. That's a blast from the past.
Yeah. Welcome. So
Thank you.
I just figured, we're always trying to do just kind of some fun sit downs just with different personas who've had all different degrees of success and just have some pointers and just other inspirational stories. And it's so cool that you have joined the likes of Christopher R. Meme. You and your husband, Thomas, have just always been able to assemble all these various B pictures just made from love and just your heart, and just that are perfect homages.
Well, we're trying. We're trying.
And again, you're doing voice lessons and sessions, and it's cool that you're inspiring other people to pursue their craft. And that, again, you don't have to be the first 20 names on a poster to make a living,
Exactly.
And you don't also have to just, work out of your parents' basement or just take up a camcorder to do this. Just literally just assemble, decide the tone and persona and crew, and you're good.
Yeah, if you want to do the thing, go do the thing. It may not be the perfect thing, but at least you've done it and you've learned from it, and you can improve on the next one.
1,000%. And so, again, you've had many stories, interviews before. When did you just realize it's like, I have a voice, like legit, I've been working on it all my life and I want to share it. I want to sing. I want to do different characters.
When I was a teenager, when I was about 16, I started taking voice lessons because it just, I saw some musicals and thought, that would be fun. So, I started taking voice lessons then and studied all through college, did a little bit in New York, did a tour, realized I hated doing actual theater. I like doing musicals. I like doing
you did
plays.
Community theater and mobile.
Yeah, but doing an actual tour while everybody on it was great, and it was a really cool experience. I missed my house. I missed my family. I hated New York. It was just not my thing. So I came home to try and figure out what my next steps were going to be, and met my husband, and we got married. And I had been working a little with radio in college. I have my degrees in broadcast journalism because that was going to be a really good fallback. Who knew that journalism was just going to kind of peter out a little bit? But right? but I worked with Radio Disney and did their remote. They did little shows. Basically, it was little games and I can't really describe it. It wasn't so much broadcasting. It was more playing with kids and face painting. I was basically a party clown, but on the radio. It was
very interactive.
And it was very interactive, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I realized I really liked doing the radio-ish part of that as much as I liked doing the playing with everybody. And a friend of mine told me that a company in town was looking for voices. So I auditioned and got that. And I've been there off and on, mostly on, for about 18 years. I took a little break to go and study in New York. I got invited to go and study with a really cool teacher up there. So went and studied and did some auditions and did my tour, and then, came back. And when I met Thomas, I know this is very nonlinear. Sorry.
No, it's fine. We're going to jump all over the place. You've had a very connected yet loose storyline.
But when I met Thomas, he was interested in writing, and I'd been acting for, a while, and we got to talking about it and realized that if we really wanted to make or get any of these scripts that he was writing made, the best way to do it was just to try and do it ourselves. So we started with a couple of shorts that were fairly terrible, and but just but just they were actually really terrible, but we learned from it, and we started to kind of assemble a group of people that we enjoyed working with and that were talented. And
makes a difference.
It does. It really does. And we just kept doing stuff, and little by little it's just gotten bigger and bigger, and stuff has gotten, some of the shorts and that we've done have gotten wonderful reviews and have been in film festivals, and one kind of went like mini viral. It wasn't really viral, but it got a lot more attention than we thought it was going to. So we turned it into a feature.
Yeah, the night shift.
Yeah, we turned that into the night shift, and then it's all just kind of come from there. It's all
collector's items of the DVD on Amazon right now.
Yeah, that's a story, but yeah, we had a distributor for it, and they went out of business. So yeah, so we got the rights back. That's great, but there are just random DVDs floating around and out there. So if you find one, congratulations. It's like finding a golden ticket. You never know where they're going to be.
Exactly. So one of your voice teachers was Joyce Sylvester. What was the main gain from out of all your many mentors, just honing your craft?
Yeah, it was just honing my craft and figuring out what worked best for me. And I had one teacher, Catherine Barnesborough, who was sort of like my second mom. She's the one that I really, you could say, either credit or blame for a lot of this. I'm not sure which.
Genie in a bottle, but maybe a Sith Lord. I don't know.
She used to preach to all of us in her studio: grow your own garden. Don't wait for someone to show up on your doorstep with an opportunity, because that's not going to happen. Go and make your own. You've got to go out there and find stuff. And if you can't find it, make it. So
wonderful.
Yeah, she's a cool lady.
Stellar. Were you also reading just some various stories about people who were in the industry, and so you just kind of were just like, okay, I need to, level this out, approach this like a business, as opposed to have too much fun and then be angry that I'm not getting the kind of career that I want right now?
A little. Mostly it was just having really wonderful teachers that explained to me what my next steps should be. So that, I trying to find the right words for it.
But it's not live.
I know. But yeah, when I was in college and doing, I had an opera internship and some other stuff, and I had this. It was actually Catherine Barnesborough that really took me under her wing and was showing me, this is where you need to go and audition. This is where you need to, how you need to get there. She introduced me to some wonderful teachers that I worked with. One was he unfortunately is now the late Dr. Orrin Brown, but he was the professor emeritus at Juilliard. Then I worked with this really lovely teacher in New York, Jeanette Lavetrie, and her partner that I found out later was all after I worked with him. He worked with Daniel Radcliffe to get him ready for How to Succeed in Business. So I'm like 2 degrees of separation from Harry Potter.
Right.
That's my
Great thing
claim
to
to
have on your
fame at this
resume.
point. Yeah, I'm 2 degrees of separation from Harry Potter. But that's I saw it in a magazine. I went, "No way."
You
Um,
lucky duckling.
yeah, I was like, "That's cool." But they helped me figure out where to go and audition and how to do it and how to um hopefully have some success at it, and it went well. I did well in auditions. I got callbacks. I got the lead in my tour, and you know things were going really well. I just couldn't stand living in New York. I didn't like the cutthroatness of
No,
of all of
it's
it.
very true. You got to be prepared when you move. Like I had
Hmm.
some pals who wanted me to go to Georgia, and I was like, well, but we got to find a good place to live. We got to
Hmm.
find some contacts before we make the gamble, and
Exactly.
backup plan instead of just wing it and then be like, oh no, I gotta go back.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's so cool that you had to kind of just say, okay, so what's next? And then you're just like, I don't like it here, so where's my
Mhm.
retreat now? Where do I go next? Instead of just fret. You know,
Exactly. So I went, I finished everything up. I had to give up my it wasn't an apartment. I was staying in a boarding house for proper young ladies, basically. And
oh, yeah,
they had they had rules against when gentlemen rules for when gentlemen callers could come and what rooms they could go to. It
oh, for
was it
God's
was
sakes.
it was great. It was awesome. Um, but yeah, I had to give that up to go on tour. So I just went home to try and figure out what to do next, and started doing voiceovers again because you know needed a job. And that's when I met Thomas, and we just clicked right away, and we were both interested in the same end goal, just in different capacities. So
Stellar.
yeah, so we got engaged, got married, and started making stuff about a month before we got married.
There you go.
Yes,
Do
because
you? Sorry,
that's
go
what you want to do the month before you get married is, go put together a horror short.
ahead.
There's nothing else going on,
At least you were sure. I have been on so many movies that were made by couples and they broke up midway through. So then, as a result, those movies never came out. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that wasn't the case. But
No, no,
um,
we're going on 15 years this December.
oh, congrats.
Yeah.
Do you think it's hard for some individuals to kind of be married or maintain a relationship in this industry sometimes, just because of how much time it takes up and balancing it out with personal life?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. We're we've just never really had that problem.
You guys
So
both
we're
spoke
very
film. That was
lucky.
your first language.
Yeah. We're very lucky in that that's, you know, we just for some reason it just clicks. It just works really well. But I can see where because of the amount of time that it takes up and how stressful it is, I can see where it could be an issue at some point. We've just we've just learned that we're on the same team. So when it gets really stressful, we instead of sniping at each other, we try and help each other get through it.
That's really cool because there are so many times where you'll hear stories about people being unhappily married or just not
Yeah.
uh being so caught up with work to where now it's work and there is no fun, and it's hard to keep, especially when this is an entertainment industry, it's hard to
Mhm.
maintain a sense of fun in the performance or keep it from not being mediocre, and then making time for kids and what have you, and
Yeah.
other annual events. And uh, would you also say that aside from just time management and just continually finding additional time to hone your craft in addition
Mhm.
to auditions and gigs,
Mhm.
that uh what's another main factor that you would highlight that's like key to all of this?
Um, I really think it's the stress management. That's just,
Okay, very
I
cool.
think it can all boil down to stress management.
There's
And
time management, but then I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the documentary series, that guy who was in that thing, and it's follow up that gal who was in that thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen both of them. They were
Okay,
great. Yeah.
okay, nice. And
It's been a while, but
no, they're very great, and they're unfortunately no longer on stream, which is a shame, because
Ah,
they all bring up the main key ingredient, which is, what do you guys do when you're down? You know, when you've done the whole
mhm.
people recognizing you in public and doing the whole, just making time for family and all, what keeps you happy, and is like, they all says like, we worked on happiness, we go for a jog, we you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when we are really crazy stressed out, sometimes it's best just to put on something silly on TV and just stop thinking about anything for a little while. What's really funny is that a lot of that time it's MST3.
Even better. So how did that, connection, start up? Had they seen your work, Demon Squad? I wasn't able to see the Gizmoplex, uh, playback yet, but
That's okay.
uh,
Um
I know you guys just sit down with them, but yeah. So Demon Squad was pretty well liked by a lot of indie filmmakers and, review sites who saw it. And how did they, pick you guys' brain and say, "Hey, we'd like to feature your movie on the show"?
they didn't. They
Oh,
yeah, that which is fine. They went through Wild Eye.
Wild Eye
Our
releasing. Okay,
Yeah, our main distributor is Tomcat slash Summerhill. And then Wild Eye has our DVD distribution and some other stuff. I'd need to look at the contract.
that's fine.
But they have they had the authority to approve this, and get the rights over to MST3K. So they went to them, and we found out from YouTube. We we had
Oh
some
wow,
YouTube Yeah, we had some YouTube comments. Every now and then we'll just kind of do a little Google search to see if anybody's done a review or anything like that on any of the movies. Just kind of a cursory glance at social media and stuff.
make sure no one's
And
stealing your content or anything else just awful.
yeah, mostly just to see if anybody's watching it or if we've gotten any new comments or anything like that. And the one of the one of the places that had the movie up um had comments underneath it saying this will be great for MST3K. And Thomas found it, and his first thought was, well, they're trolling, that's funny. um and then more comments of that nature came up underneath it, and this is a great experiment, this is going to be fun, congrats on MST3K. And he just kind of went, what? And
That's awkward.
yeah,
Yeah.
what is happening?
I know a friend of our show, Jim Morrissini, really dug it on Voices from the Balcony.
Oh, I'm so glad. I am so Oh, I remember that review. That
Yeah.
was really nice and
Yeah.
appreciated. So thank you. Thank
Yep.
you, Jim. Um we Yeah, he kept seeing this, so he pulled up
This
I think
can't
he
be
just
right.
Googled
Yeah.
MST3K Demon Squad, and a Paste magazine article came up, and it had a little thing about Demon Squad in it. And at first we're like, there must be another one. There's got to be another
Something
Demon
from the
Squad out there.
80s.
Yeah. And, because no one's ever heard of ours, so that it wouldn't be ours. And then there's a poster, and I'm on it. And then there was a little blurb, and they mentioned me and Christian in it. And we went, this is ours. Okay. Okay, interesting. Pulled up the live stream on YouTube, and heard Joel announce it, and both of us just were like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. And, this is cool. Is this cool? Yeah, this is cool. This is cool. Yeah, yeah, this is fun. And contacted our distributor and we're like, do you know about this? And they're like, no. So they talked to Wild Eye and found out what happened. And yeah, but yeah, nobody ever came to us about it. And we just found out with everybody else
When
or
did
slightly after.
when did the roundtable invite come in?
That was in May. We got the invite in May, and they could not have been nicer. I honestly cannot say enough about how wonderful everybody affiliated with the show has been. They've just been the most welcoming, warm people, and have made what could have been a very stressful experience one that we just really enjoyed.
Mean-spirited or anything?
Yeah. We weren't really worried about about the show being mean-spirited, because that's not really their thing. They've always just, everything's just been in good fun. So we weren't really worried about the show. We were more worried about the social media after the show. But again, luckily,
I think
everybody,
they've filtered out a lot of the guys who often are just mean-spirited or taking the humor too far. And
and the MST3K forums have just been the sweetest people. They have just been so sweet. The Facebook page has just been lovely. So, Twitter's been nice. It's everybody has been overwhelmingly kind.
They had some bullies on the Kickstarter, but those were going way, way back to the whole Joel versus Mike versus Jonah thing. And it's like, okay, well, if you don't want to be on here, no one's stopping you. You don't have to fund this.
Yeah. I don't understand the whole let's be mean thing. I've just never gotten that. But,
if you don't
it
like
is
an
a
installment,
thing.
don't watch it.
Yeah, seriously. But, it was something we expected. And we did run across it here and there, but it's been
people who weren't going to like it anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there were some people that I'm like, they're never going to enjoy this. That's fine. That's cool. And if you don't like it, that's fine. That's your opinion, and you are more than welcome to it. And, not everybody likes everything. There are things I don't like. It's fine. But, just be nice, please. But the response has been overwhelmingly positive, and we've just been really, really blown away by it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so Wild Eye has helped you guys figure out a lot of video on demand internet streaming options for a lot of your movies.
Just for this one. This one.
Nice.
They've been great. They've been wonderful.
How did Backwoods come about? For those who want to know, you can rent it from Amazon, and I saw a bunch of good reviews on that one on how that was throwback to hillbilly terror.
That's what we were going for. We've been doing Supernatural for a while, and it's, the special effects tend to be really difficult to deal with. I mean, Demon Squad, the special effects took almost 2 years. So that, after it was filmed. So
a lot of the creatures are really cool. They kind of remind me of Wishmaster and Gremlins.
Thank you. Yeah, we were trying to keep the creatures as practical as we could, and just use the CGI for things like, interdimensional portals. But it's a lot. Every other scene in the movie had at least one special effect of some sort. It might just be fixing an eye line, but there was something in there. So we wanted to do something that was a little more grounded in reality, something that didn't have quite the special effects budget, for one thing, but one that just was a little easier to deal with effects wise. And we started thinking about, what maybe we should try just a straight up slasher flick, just for fun, just to see what happens.
Would you say you guys were just always really good with tone and mood, just watching what you loved and seeing how to recreate what you dug on screen?
I I like to think we're pretty good at it. I hope so.
Because it is crazy when you're having to kind of filter what kind of audience you're looking for, like, because now we're
Yeah.
even in a weirder
Hmm.
audience where there's so many degrees to different types of crowds. Some people are just as likely to go to Tubi or Pluto TV if they want to find something as they are to rent physical stuff still from Netflix or Redbox. And
Yeah.
then with B pictures, some people are always going to look for that kind of thing, regardless of its quality. And there's other crowds to it where the filmmakers are trying to not make something look like Sci-Fi Channel, and then at the same time, there's still an audience for that. They're just as likely to watch your movie as
Yeah.
the non-crowd. So
I think what we do mostly is we just make a movie that we think we would want to watch. We just make something that we think we would enjoy, and hopefully other people will enjoy it too.
very nice.
Because you can't please everyone. So, just make what you are interested in. And there's sure to be some like-minded people out there.
Oh, totally. I think you guys should totally collaborate with Christopher R. Meme, who's also made a living doing a lot of 50s inspired B pictures in his hometown, and kind of like you guys did with your short film on the that led up to your initial movie. He's always kind of indicated that a lot of the characters are in kind of the same shared universe.
Yeah, that's Nick Moon was actually supposed to be a supporting character in a Night Shift sequel. That was where he came from.
Nice.
And we got it written and looked at it and went, yeah, this is never going to happen. Like, we will never have the budget for this. So, but Nick was cool, so we were just going to do a short with him and see how that went. But Thomas wrote the short and he showed it to me, and we both had the same thought that it wasn't a short, it was a cold open to a movie.
Okay.
So yeah, the short was the first scene of Demon Squad.
Nice.
So yeah, that was just going to be a short, and we just really loved the character and wanted to explore more of his world. So the nice thing about him not being a supporting character was we were able to call Christian and be like, hey, you want to be a detective? But
nice.
we wouldn't have been able to do that otherwise. But yeah, he was just supposed to be a supporting character in that world. So we were kind of just sticking with the Night Shift universe for a while, and now we're branching out.
Have you thought of doing some crowdfunding?
We've talked about it, and I don't have anything concrete yet, but we're really, really interested in doing some crowdfunding. We've got a sequel that is written more or less. It's still a work in progress, but it's not something that we could ever do on our own. So crowdfunding would be one way to go. That would be a really good way to go. And please keep your eye out for it, because it'll probably happen, but I can't say for sure because I don't know for sure what's going on.
Okay.
This has all been kind of a weird week because having the movie on MST3K and then everything after, it's kind of been a little bit of a whirlwind. So yeah,
one way to say it.
We're not used to this kind of attention. We're more used to we make a movie and we put it in some film festivals and it goes on video on demand and we get some reviews, and that's the end of that. So this has been it's been a fun experience, but it's definitely not our norm. So we're just kind of trying to figure our way out at this point.
Very cool. Would you say that you're also just prone to just searching around and just brainstorming and just locking and loading, just ready to assign the next project.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We since Backwoods we've already done another short. I mean, with the whole pandemic and everything, things have been a little light. We haven't really been able to do much. Plus we had a baby right after Backwoods, or actually kind of during Backwoods. But so things have been really, really different over here. But we did a short that Trauma picked up and it came out in June. And we've got another short written and some props made. And we're planning on doing that eventually, hopefully sometime soon. But yeah, it's just if a idea comes to one of us, we just start writing on it and see where it takes us.
Very stellar. Are there any, I don't want to have anyone give away, what ideas are in development. What are some genres you guys would like to tackle? If anything else?
We always enjoy doing like a horror or a supernatural kind of thing. Sci-fi would be really, really cool. We at this point, I think we just if an idea hits us, we go with it. We did a short several years ago that was just a straight up rom-com.
Nice.
And yeah, so it's just whatever, whatever kind of strikes us. If we think it's worth going after, we'll just start writing and see, just kind of go from there.
Very neat. Are there any roles that is still a dream role that you would like to portray, whether in your own production or someone else's?
Oh, I'm always interested in character work. Any just if it's a fun role, I'm all about it. I've done everything from Shakespeare and to Chekhov to Gilbert and Sullivan. So it's, I'm all about whatever sounds interesting. So I don't have anything specific. I really like funny characters, but I also like really dramatic characters. So it's just whatever. Yeah. I don't have a specific yes, I want to do that. At least not anymore. I had them when I was younger, but now I've kind of aged out of those. So but yeah, I'm just all about interesting, fun characters.
You have any other acting classes or professors that you recommend everyone check out trying to get into it, whether online or in person?
If you're in the Mobile, Alabama area, if you are a child, I always recommend Playhouse in the Park because that's where I got started. But other than that, I recommend just grabbing any and all books you can on the subject and looking to find a local teacher that you gel with.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, well, what would you also just say is just how would you describe the indie film scene there? Is it pretty friendly, or is it kind of hit and miss, or just word of mouth?
Oh, down here?
Yeah.
There's it seems like we all just kind of work together. The other day, another filmmaker was over at our house working on a video because they needed a living room. So we have a living room. Come on. It was our DP on Demon Squad. He does his own stuff too. So, it seems like it's a fairly friendly community down here. So, we all tend to work together.
Very cool. Very cool. And just any other future collaborators that or other projects that you just would love to promote?
right now I don't have anything. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
have
fine.
anything to promote right now. Other than if you have not gotten a chance to see Demon Squad on MST3K, I urge you to do it because it is hilarious. And then after you watch that, please go and watch the full movie on Tubi and see what all you missed, because it's about 20 minutes had to be cut out. And all I'm going to say is Troll Madam. That's my favorite scene in the entire movie, and it didn't make it to the MST3K cut. So go watch it for the Troll Madam. She's great. Yeah, that's all I can really promote at this point. But yeah, the MST3K version was absolutely hysterical. We cracked up through the whole thing, and we're just really grateful for the experience.
Excellent. I think you might be doing any more future albums in the future.
Yeah, we've got some ideas that we're knocking around. So, like I said, be on the lookout for a possible Kickstarter. We're really working on that one.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, thank you ever so much for being on here.
All right. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Hopefully in time for Halloween.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be fantastic.
Totally. All right. Godspeed to you. This was a delight. Thank you.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening. It's a jacked up